Okay, so the inspiration for it was I wrote a poem called Women on the Rise. And at the time when I wrote it, I wasn't actually thinking that it was going to turn into anything else other than just being a poem. But the poem just simply addresses my expression of wanting to maintain a decision that I wanted to inspire and to be impactful, to restore trust, just in terms of how women relate to each other. So that was sort of like the substance of the poem, and I sent it to a few people and just thought, oh, this is sort of like a, nice thing to send. And I thought I'd leave it there, but then as I was going along, I was listening to it a couple times, because it wasn't so much that I was listening to my own stuff, but it was just that as I was chewing on it and meditating on it, it just felt bigger than just the fact that I had written another poem. And so as I began to go along with it, I found myself just thinking more about, okay, what does this mean? And maybe how can I express this to other people? How can I encourage and inspire the people to be women that rise, or to be women that want to be better than where they're at the moment? So yeah, that was the inspiration for it. I think that to be a woman on the rise, depending on the context that you're talking about, that can take different forms. But in this setting, I think there's one key thing that I'm noticing that I want to perhaps be part of the answer to address, and that is disconnectedness. And that takes the form of two things: disconnectedness within the church family and disconnectedness with the world and what's going on around us. I'm just observing that, particularly in the church family, we've got like women and how we relate to each other. It just doesn't come together like I believe that I see in the Bible that God wants us to relate to each other. It's just not as free flowing. There's a oneness there that I notice that is not as wide and as open as it should be. When it comes to our world now, I find that to a point we can almost shut ourselves away because there's a lot of overwhelming things happening out here, and sometimes we feel ill-equipped and we don't know how to deal with these things. And so it's like I want to be able to play my part to say, as women that want to rise, we want to rise in terms of how we relate to each other, how we show love and care for each other within the church family. And then that translates into when we now go into the world and how we actually show love to other people and actually do our part to be an answer to what's going on around us, where people are actually hurting and broken.